Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rhyme of the Times for the week ending 6th of January 2024. We close the door on the year before and usher in 2024 with a hint of the politics that are in store. Littler's dart skills are top drawer and have the country in awe, but in the final he's flawed. 7-4 the score. Doctors strike for more. There are pages galore to show Epstein was, for sure, someone to abhor and deplore, but they don't show much more than that we didn't know before. Israel scores, but may have escalated war. Henk roars. A new week, a new year, and yet another storm. Henk left parts of Britain looking war-torn. Flooding gales, fallen trees, the familiar drill. Evacuations, power cuts. 2 people killed. All week at the Alley Pally a story had been brewing, as people were seeing what a young dude was doing. In the Darts World Championship on Wednesday night, there were just 2 young men left standing in the fight. Humphreys and Littler, Luke versus Luke, Littler the whipper-snapper, but this was no fluke. We had to look twice to take in what we'd seen, a World Championship runner-up at just 16. Littler lost the big face-off by 7-4. He'll probably be the face of darts forevermore. He'd finally lost at darts, but he won many hearts, and this is where his journey really starts. Against Luke Humphreys he may have come up short, but prospects look bigger for Littler in the sport. With a talent and temperament that can't be taught, and a maturity that provides a clarity of thought. He has the potential to be the real deal, and this week he gave darts international appeal. We want 15% more or we'll strike again. Like a broken record, came the doctor's refrain. They then actually broke a record with Wednesday's strike. Tools down for 6 days, we've never seen the like. But the government remains adamant that they don't like the idea of a budget-busting salary hike. Doctors say it's only fair to compensate for their pay that's been eroded since 2008. To ease the pain, they say the restorative raise can be administered over time, phase by phase. Meanwhile, for 6 consecutive days, the sick get sick of cancellations and delays. In America on Thursday, court documents were revealed as details of a 2015 lawsuit were unsealed, so the public can now view an unwieldy file about Virginia Giuffre and a paedophile. For those seeking more nuggets on Jeffrey Epstein, this was expected to be a real gold mine. But in the end, for those with the time to browse, there was very little in it to raise eyebrows. Just the mention of an orgy may have got people talking, 'cause it reportedly involved Stephen Hawking. In 2024 we muse over what might unravel and what's the political direction of travel. Rishi's working assumption is he's likely to call a general election for some time in fall. So, in the end-of-year messages for 2023 and the first days of this year, we could already see the signals from leaders hoping to be elected. Battlegrounds, sound bites and slogans detected. On Thursday, Starmer outlined his kaleidoscope of pieces that make up his Project Hope. Both he and Ned Davey called Sunak a squatter, holed up in Downing Street, unelected. The rotter. It's no wonder Rishi's not in a hurry to move. He needs as long as possible for things to improve. Many Tories right now are down in the mouth, while polls for Labour rise. For them, they head south. And what of Reform with their 10%? They'd say that for the disillusioned they're heaven sent. Others say, for heaven's sake, just get real. Reform will never attain widespread appeal. Instead, they will probably make the way clear for the first Labour government for 14 years. Because in a two-horse race, every Tory defection is a vote towards Labour winning the election. Whether Reform sees the big picture or not, they intend to give the election their very best shot. With a bit of a swagger, they're almost showboating, and they know many voters are still floating. They say it as it is, no sugar-coating. To the floundering Tories, they're almost gloating. Reform your voting habits is what they're promoting. Use your heart, not your head, to do your voting. If you vote Labour, they say, all you'll be getting is a doomsday scenario, a Starmageddon. But will voters heed the advice or be enticed by the charm and patter of Richard Tice? The Reform Party to many is seen as extreme, and Tice has no real chance of living his dream, because when push comes to shove in the polling booth, for a majority it's the tried and tested we choose. People vote safely with a devil they know. How the devil can Reform change the status quo? So the centre ground is where most votes are. The far left and far right in the end don't get far. The new year began with an assassination, raising fears of Middle East war escalation. It seems Israel's pertinacious pursuit of every Hamas bigwig of evil repute on Tuesday bore a piece of much sought-after fruit. A drone strike killed Salah al-Aruri in Beirut. And finally, goodbye was said to 2023 with yet another London knife tragedy. 16-year-old Harry Pittman, the latest killed. Another 16-year-old stabbed him on Primrose Hill. Harry was waiting to see fireworks when he was knifed late on New Year's Eve, and he failed to survive long enough to reach 2024 alive.